All right, ladies and gentlemen of the YouTube citizens, y'all know who this is. This is your boy, That's True Inferno. Back at it with another Throwback Tunes on another Thursday, and I am reviewing Rotten Apple by Lloyd Banks. Yes. So this joint came out October 10th, 2006 under G Unit and Interscope. Now, check this out. The title of the album is a play on the New York City nickname, The Big Album. The Big Apple, rather, my bad. The album cover also resembles the cover of the film King of New York. So that's pretty cool. Now let's look at, wow, there's a lot of producers involved here. So check this out. We got 10 for the Triad, 50 Cent, who was the executive producer, obviously, Knife Wonder, King Los, Chad Beats with a Z, Chris Styles, Daniel Jones, Dave Morris, Eminem, Havoc from Mobb Deep, obviously, Jermaine Mobley, or Mobley, how you pronounce that? I think it's Mobley. Luis Resto, Machiavelli, Major Music Productions, Mini Mafia, Needles with a Z, Nick Speed, Prince. I don't think we talking that Prince. So yeah, move on. Juan Browse, Shaw Money X, who was also the co-executive producer. Writers Block Music Group, Young RJ and T3, and lastly, Young Lord. So a lot of producers involved here. All right, so some background info here. Originally, the album was titled The Big Withdrawal. However, two women Banks had a menage a trois with in 2005 leaked an unmastered copy of the album he had left at their home. The album was scrapped, and soon after, Banks began working on Rotten Apple. Very interesting there. Also, Banks stated that he wanted to show the darker side of New York City and allow listeners to hear what it was like growing up in South Jamaica, Queens. Very interesting there. All right, so let's take a look at the certification. So this joint was gold out in Canada and the United States. Gold, he was looking at 50,000 copies in Canada, rather, and in the U.S., he was around 500,000 copies. Now, it did make the charts. It was 65th on the French album charts, 27 on the Irish album charts, 36 on the Swiss album charts, 40th on the UK album charts. It was 6 on the Canadian album charts, and number 3 on the US Billboard Top 200, and number 1 in both the US Billboard Top R&B/hip hop album charts, and number 1 on the US Billboard Top Rap Albums charts. And I believe I covered everything there. So, although I do see some interesting bit of news, actually, on another Lloyd Banks page, it said that this album sold 351,000 copies, meaning he did not get gold in the U.S. So I don't know about that one, but we're gonna move on for that. So there's only, I think there was 16 songs. Yeah, 16 songs on this album, no skits. So I can give you guys a top 5 and not a top 3, which is very interesting. Despite the fact that the first track is called Rotten Apple and in parentheses intro. But that's still not a skit. That's an actual song, and it features 50 Cent and rest in peace, to Prodigies, who was also a part of this song. The second track is called Survival, followed by Playboy 2. Track number 4 is called The Cake, featuring 50 Cent. Track number 5 is called Make a Move, and then track number 6 is the only single from this album, which is called Hands Up, featuring, you guessed it, 50 Cent. Track number 7 is called Help, featuring Carrie Hilson, followed by Addicted, featuring Music Soul Child. Whatever happened to this guy? I don't know what happened to this guy. And same with this next guy. Track number 9, you know the deal, featuring Rakim. Very interesting. Track number 10 is called Get Clapped, featuring Mobb Deep, followed by Stranger, then Change. Track number 13 called Enride, featuring Tony. Yeah, y'all obviously standing for New York, New York. Track number 14 is called One Night Stand, featuring Keon Bryce, followed by Iceman, featuring Young Buck, 8 Ball, and Scarface. And the last track is called Gilmore's, rather. So yeah, they go with that. Now let's look at the only single off the album, which is called Hands Up. This joint dropped as a download July 25th, 2006, but in terms of it being a CD single, that dropped September 18th, 2006. Oh, I forgot to mention that the album as a whole was recorded from 2005 to 2006. So yeah, there you go with that. So the song was produced by Eminem, along with Chris Styles and Luis Resto. And there is a music video for this as well. Obviously, 50 Cent was in it, and Tony Lato made a cameo appearance along with Mobb Deep. very interesting as well. Oh, here's a bit of interesting news. The video itself, excuse me, the video itself was released as a digital download on July 28th, 2006. And it did make the charts, the single did. It was 47 in the European Hot 100 singles charts, 20th in Germany, 84th on the US Billboard Hot 100, 30th on the US Hot R&B/Hip-Hop Songs charts, 91st on the US Pop 100, and 15th on the US Hot Rap Songs charts. All right, so there you go with that. So I'm going to give you guys my favorite tracks off this album from worst to first. And New York, or NY, whichever one you want to call it, is the worst track off this album. The melody during the verse is not good. It almost sounds like a Luigi's Mansion sample. You know that scientist theme? I forgot his name, but you know who I'm talking about if you play Luigi's Mansion. Moving on, the strings during the hook, though, helps make the melody sound straight. You know, it sounds straight/cool. You know, the strings, the hook, the melody for the hook, rather. The bass is cool, but needs way more of it. The kick is straight, but could have been better, and needs more of it. The snare is cool. The drum pattern is bland due to the lack of kicks. Overall, the track is just straight. That's it. Then we got Glimmer's. Tempo's really cool, but the melody is straight. The synth bass is decent. The kick is straight. The snare is bland. Overall, the track is still cool nevertheless, mostly because of the tempo. Playboy 2. The tempo's cool. The melody is straight, but the EQ is too high for me. The bass is cool, as is the kick. The snare is just straight, but the beat pattern's cool. Try to sound hype here, but overall the track is still cool nevertheless. Iceman is next. The tempo is cool, as is the beat pattern, the melody, the bass, and the kick, but the snare is really cool though. But overall the track is cool. Next up is You Know the Deal. The tempo is cool, as is the melody. The bass is either barely there or not there at all. Either way, it hurts the track. The kick is borderline straight, cool, you know, around that range. The snare is cool. Overall, the track is cool. Change. Melody is a bit weak, and those high piano keys are bland to me. You know, overall, the melodies were just straight. Tempo is cool, as is the bass, the kick, and the snare, and basically the track. Addicted. Melody is a tad bit all over the place, or really just a tad all over the place. The melody is still cool nevertheless. Bass sounds cool, but needs way more of it. The kick is cool, as is the snare, and the track itself. Help. Tempo is cool, as is the melody during the verse, but the melody during the hook is really cool. The bass is cool, as is the kick, but it could have been better, the kick that is. The snare is cool as well, but the track is cool. Get Clapped. The melody/tempo is really cool. The tempo is straight, but too slow for me. Needs a bass. The kick is cool. The claps are straight, but the snare would work better. It got potential here, though. Overall, the track is really cool. The Rotten Apple intro, obviously, intro is in parentheses. The melody is really cool here, as is the tempo. Well, the tempo is just cool, rather. Same with the bass. The kick is borderline straight, cool. So isn't that borderline again? The snare is straight, but you should have picked a better one, whoever produced the joint. The drum pattern is really cool, though. But overall, the track is really cool. And the sixth best track off this album is Make a Move. The melody is really cool here. Tempo is really cool. The bass is cool, as is the kick. The snare is straight, but it's weak, though. The track is really cool because of the melody, without question. Now, the fifth best track off this album is The Cake. Sample/melody is really cool here. The tempo is cool, as is the bass, but needs more of the bass, though. The kick is cool/really cool, in my opinion. Same with the snare, but the track is really cool nevertheless. Fourth best track off this album is One Night Stand. This is a semi-mellowed out joint right here, rather. The melody is cool, really cool, rather. The tempo is cool for this type of beat. The bass is cool, as is the kick, but the snare is really cool. Overall, the track is really cool nevertheless. The best track off this album is Hands Up, the single. Tempo is really cool, as is the melody. The sip bass/bass, whichever one you want to call it, as I keep hitting the mic, my bad, is cool. The kick is cool, but could have been better. The snare is really cool, though. Overall, the track is really cool. Stranger is the second best track off this album. The melody is excellent here. The tempo is cool, but could be faster. The bass is really cool, but needs a bit more of it. The kick is really cool. The snare is borderline cool, really cool. And the track is really cool, nevertheless. And without question, Survival is the number one track on this album. The melody is excellent. The tempo is really cool. The bass is cool. The kick is really cool, as is the snare. And the drum pattern. Overall, this track is really cool. So Survival is his best track off this album. And I'll probably go as far as to say that's actually one of his best songs. So let's look at some professional ratings, shall we? All right. So Metacritic gave it a 51 out of 100. All Music gave it a 2.5 out of 5 stars. Entertainment Weekly gave it a D plus rather. LA Times gave it 3 out of 4 stars. Okay, I guess there's a professional rating thing. Oh, it's Now Magazine. Okay, whatever. They gave it 2 out of 5 stars. The Phoenix, another new one, gave it 1.5 out of 4 stars. Rap Reviews gave it an 8 out of 10. Rolling Stones gave it 3 out of 5 stars. Stylist Magazine gave it a C minus. First of all, hold up. Tiny Mixtapes. That's new for me. I never heard of that before. And apparently it's an online music and film website. Okay, so. And wow, Tiny Mixtapes. Okay. I've been doing throwback tunes for years. Well, for like 2 or 3 years, something along those lines. But it's been years, obviously. I do a throwback tune episode once a week. I reviewed a lot of albums. I have never in my life come across a professional rating where they gave an album out of any type of stars. In this case, it's out of 5. They gave it 0 out of 5 stars. Wow. I have never seen that before in my life. They gave it 0 out of 5. I literally had to put the mouse over the stars to see, is that 0 out of 5 stars? And I got the tag. And there's a D say 0 out of 5 stars. I have never seen that before in my life. That is crazy. Also, moving on, Vibe gave it 2.5 out of 5 stars. So what do I think about this album? Well, it's obviously not 0 out of 5 stars. I'm not going that far. I'm not going that, I'm not going for a period like that. I'm not going down that route at all. But the Hunger for More is what I question was his best album between those two. He did come out with The Hunger for More 2, which I haven't heard at all yet. I'm going to have to give this album, Right Now, 3.5 out of 5 stars. I recommend you just stream it for free, rather. But again, really check out Survival, Stranger, Hands Up, One Night Stand, and The Cake, and maybe make a move. There's some potential here, but it's really, they kind of blew it on most of these tracks. But yeah, 3.5 out of 5 stars. I recommend you just stream it for free. So I'm going to call it a wrap. So with all that said, y'all know who this is. This is the new Jay Gatsby, a.k.a. the new Stephen A. Smith, saying peace out, y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Yeah.